Hello guys, welcome to Concentrate Academy. In this video, I'm going to show you how to master the index notation form and laws of indices. So let's get straight into it. Index notation is a shorter way of expressing numbers or variables. So in this video, I'm going to be using index, exponent, and powers interchangeably. Now they all mean the same thing. So we have our index, which is basically of the form a to the power n, where a is our base and n is our exponent or power or index. So what you are trying to say when we write numbers or variables in index form, we are saying that the base a appears n number of times So this is actually multiplication. So for example, let's take 4 to the power 6. Now remember I said I'm using power or index or exponent, so they all mean the same thing. So 4 to the power 6. Our base here is what? 4. And our exponent is 6. So 4 to the power 6 means that the base 4 appears 6 number of times, and it's multiplication. So we have 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, and that gives us 6 times of 4. So if we have 2 to the power 3, what we are saying is the base 2 appears 3 times and it multiplies itself 3 times. So we have 2 times 2 times 2. This is basically how to write in index form. Let's move on to the laws of indices. For the laws of indices, there are basically 3 laws. Now the very first one is what is known as the product rule. So let's write it here. The product rule. Now let's establish some variables. When we have our variable a exponent p multiplying a exponent q, we have a as our base and it's the same a which is our base. The exponents are different. What the product rule says is if your indices are of the same base but different exponents, if they are multiplying, all you need to do is to add the exponent. So we have a here and a here. They are multiplying, so we add their exponents, which is p plus q. Let's take an example. So our example here is 2 exponent 3 times 2 exponent negative 1. These two are of the same base and hence we add their exponent. We are only adding the exponent just because they are multiplying. So we have 2 exponent 3 plus minus 1 and positive negative is negative. So we have 2 exponent 3 minus 1 and we have 2 exponent 2. And that's our final answer. Let's solve a second example. Example 2. we have 3a squared b cubed multiplying 2a minus 3b to the power 6. We have two constants, which is 3 and 2. When they multiply, it gives us 6. A squared multiplying a to the power minus 3. They are multiplying, they have the same base, we add the exponents. So a exponent 2 plus minus 3. We have b exponent 3 plus 6. We now have 6a 2 plus minus 3 is 2 minus 3, which is minus 1. So 6a exponent minus 1, b 3 plus 6 is 9. So we have b exponent 9. And this is our final answer. Now let's move on to the second law of indices. So our second law of indices is known as the quotient rule. In the quotient rule, we are dividing one index form over another index form, particularly of the same base. So the variable we are going to be establishing here is a to the power p divided by a to the power q. So for the second law of indices, when they have the same base, which is a, and different exponents, if they are dividing, you subtract the denominator from the numerator. So a exponent p divided by a exponent q gives us a exponent p minus q. Let's take some examples. 4 to the exponent 6 divided by 4 exponent 2. They have the same base and there's a division sign, hence we subtract the denominator from the numerator. So 4 exponent 6 minus 2, we have 4 exponent 4. And that's our final answer. Let's move on to the third law of indices and we bring this tutorial to an end. For our third law of indices, it is basically in its index form raised to the power something. It could be a variable or a number. So the third law of indices is known as the power law. The power law. We have a to the power 3 all to the power, let's say 2. So we have an indice in a square bracket to the power something, and that is why it's called the power law. Now, since this is showing what 2, it means that whatever is in this square bracket repeats itself 2 times. Just as at the beginning, we said if we have a to the power n, what we are saying is that a appears n number of times. We have a whole indice in this bracket appearing this number of times, which is 2 times. So a squared to the power squared is what? A to the power 2 times a to the power 2. Now there's a similarity between the third law and the first law, in the sense that the moment you are able to clearly write out what this means, it then now resembles the first law, which is the product law, because they all have the same base and actually the same exponent. Then now you add their exponent. Very, very easy. So we have a to the power 2 plus 2, and that gives us a to the power 4. Let's take an example. So we have a to the power 2 multiplying b to the power 4, all raised to the power 3. So this is an indice on its own, which has now been given a power. So just like how we define index notation, we are saying that a to the power 2 times b to the power 4 appears 3 number of times. So let's clearly write it out. A to the power 2 multiplying b to the power 4 times a to the power 2 multiplying b to the power 4 times a to the power 2 multiplying b to the power 4. We end here because the power is 3. If the power was, let's say, 5, we would rewrite out 2 more times of this. And this gives us, since they are all multiplying and they all have similar bases, let's start with a. A to the power 2 plus 2 plus this 2, then b to the power 4 plus 4 plus 4. We now have our final answer to be a to the power 6, b to the power 12. And that's our final answer. Let's take one more example. 2a cubed b squared all to the power 2. So this whole thing in this square bracket appears what? 2 times. So let's quickly write that out. 2a squared a cubed b squared times 2a cubed b squared. 2 multiplies 2 gives us 4. A cubed times a cubed, same base, add their exponents since they are multiplying. 3 plus 3. B squared times b squared, same base, multiplying, add the exponent. 2 plus 2 gives us 4a to the power 6, b to the power 4. And that's our final answer. Try the following examples and let me know your answers in the comment section. If you like this video, kindly leave me a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that anytime I upload a new video, you will be notified. I love you very much, and I'll see you again in my next tutorial. Bye bye.